So if you have zucchini coming out of your garden like I do now, you're looking for ways to prepare it other than just frying it. So let's try to make a zucchini cornbread casserole. And who doesn't love zucchini? So the ingredients that you will need, I'm making a half recipe since it's just 2 of us. So the recipe calls for 4 cups of shredded zucchini, so I have shredded 2 cups. It calls for a medium onion diced, so I have here just half of a medium onion. It calls for 2 large eggs beaten, and I have 1 egg. It calls for a 16-ounce block of cheddar cheese. I shredded an 8-ounce block of sharp cheddar cheese. It calls for 1 cup of corn, so I have a half a cup of corn. Also, it calls for 1 jalapeno, seeded and diced, so I have here just half of 1 jalapeno pepper. And then it calls for 1 teaspoon kosher salt, 1 teaspoon onion powder, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, and a half a teaspoon of black pepper. Of course, I halved all of that and have it all here in this little cup. And then it calls for an 8.5 ounce of a corn muffin mix, and I've took half of this out and measured it in my little ounce measuring cup there. So that's all the ingredients. So what we do is, in a large bowl, we put all the ingredients in except for the cheese and the corn muffin mix and combine that real well. So I'll start with getting the corn in there. So I just put all the corn in the bowl, and in goes the onion and the jalapeno pepper. Get more in the camera here. And then I will add the shredded zucchini. And then I will do the egg. And my spices. And I'll stir this all up. This is stirring up very nicely. It's very moist. There's a lot of liquid in the zucchini when you shred it up. So now I'm going to add half of the cheese. And the corn muffin mix, and stir it up. Okay, I have this all mixed up well now, and I'm going to put it in a 1-quart casserole dish that I've sprayed with non-stick spray. And keep in mind, I'm doing half recipe. The recipe says a 2-quart, but I'm using a 1-quart. So we'll put that in here. I have the oven already preheated at 350. And put the rest of the cheese on top. Leave no cheese behind. leave no cheese behind. Cheese is gold. Okay, then we're going to put this in the oven at 350, and it will bake for 40 to 45 minutes until a knife inserted comes out clean and the cheese is all bubbly. So we'll see you when it comes out. We were so anxious to eat that I forgot to take a picture of this zucchini cornbread casserole when it came out of the oven. But it looks good, so we'll see. Joe approves of the zucchini cornbread casserole. It really is good. It's different. It's very good. This would make a good dish for a potluck. It's different and a good way to use up your zucchini. Well, everybody, the zucchini casserole was delicious. So we had so much left over, I decided to make miniature zucchini fritters that's baked in the oven. And all I did was to stir all that back up and add some breadcrumbs. And then I used a cookie scoop and put them on a baking sheet and baked them at 400 for 25 minutes. And here's what they look like. I just had one you see missing there, and it is delicious. I'm going to get some marinara sauce to dip it in. Joe's trying them out. What do you think, honey?
I think it'll work if you try it hard and long.
Don't you think it'd be good with marinara sauce?
Yeah.
You probably like ranch dressing.
Well, I would prefer ranch, that's for sure.
Okay. I'll get some out and we'll eat up.
Okay.
Well, it's Saturday and there's a couple of events right here in our local community that I'm wanting to check out today. Trying to get out and get that done before it comes a storm because the sky's not looking good. And there's several people here. This lady's trying to get backed out. Go ahead and let her. next stop is at the fairground for the Blue Ridge Artisan Fair. Here we are. Let's go in. Well, this Blue Ridge Artisan Fair was the place to be today. It was so crowded that I couldn't take any video footage. I was just overwhelmed by the number of vendors that they have in there. And they have a variety of a lot of things, from homemade soaps, quilts, paintings, wooden plaques, food, different types of food, spices, children's clothing, handmade dishcloths and dish towels, and my goodness, I can't even remember what all, but it's just so much. But I didn't buy anything. I just did a quick stroll through there. But there's a lot of talented people in there making their crafts. Hey y'all, I'm out here in the garden in the evening. Got about an hour and a half of sunlight left for the day, and I decided I needed to prune my zucchini and yellow squash. They're just getting out of control. This electroculture, I'm telling you, they are turning into a monster. I'll show you. But you look, I already pruned that side of the zucchini. Oh my goodness. But you can't even see the blossoms for all the foliage, and you can't really get in there good without battling all the leaves to try to find the zucchini and squash. And the bees need to find the blooms so they can pollinate them. But I have already harvested zucchini and squash out my ears, and I've given so much away. But it's working. Another reason I wanted to prune them is because it looks like I'm getting some of that powdery mildew on the leaves. So I need to get them off, and look what showed up. Where can I find him? In the lens. Can you see? Japanese beetle. So I've got to get rid of them too. Isn't that a beautiful sight? The pickling cucumbers in full bloom. Okay, this is July the 1st. And whatever was eating on my tomatoes, I saw the green one, that it had eaten the entire inside and left the hull. And they had started eating on this one. So I've just left this one to let them eat on it, and maybe they won't get any of the others. So far there's no sign of bite marks on any of the others. And I'm eyeing, there's the two they've been eating on, and I just laid them on the ground. Maybe they'll keep eating those. And then I covered the ones that are low hanging, close to the ground, with this wedding tool fabric to try to keep them out of them. So far, nothing bothered them last night. I'm trying this new way of trying to trap the Japanese beetles. I saw where you use a gallon jug and fill it 1/3 full of warm water, put a packet of yeast in there and a 1/4 cup of sugar and shake it up and let it sit for a while. And then you add some rotten banana and about a tablespoon of Dawn dish detergent. So I just set this out yesterday. I hung it on the metal post because the Japanese beetles are getting on the green beans. So there is a bee pollinating the blooms.
That's a Japanese beetle on top right there.
There is a Japanese beetle. Yep. I'm going to get him off and stick him in the bucket. There are bugs inside, but no Japanese beetles yet.